Most steel-tip dart players are familiar with the standard outshot chart that recommends ways of winning in an 0-1 game when you're on a score of 170 or below. With most numbers there are various different ways to take them out, and charts typically only list one combination per number, so you will find many variations of the chart. A chart is a useful tool when you're first learning the game, but you should not become dependent on it. Think about alternatives to the combinations offered on the chart. You might find an approach that better suits your play. For example, if you are stronger on the bottom of the board than at the top, you might try to take out 76 with single 19, single 19, double 19, rather than the recommended treble 20, double 8. The choice is yours. Find what best suits you and then memorize it. If you're not a beginner, you shouldn't really need to consult an out chart hanging on the wall every time you're down below 171. Learn your outs. The purpose of this video is to discuss an option for taking out any of the numbers shown here. I'm going to fill in the blanks later. For now, just concentrate on the numbers shown. There are two ranges, 95 to 91 and 85 to 81. Whenever you're on one of these numbers with 3 darts in hand, the best odds to get you a shot at a double starts with throwing up the bullseye. Now, when I recommend this to people I play with, the typical initial response is disbelief, and you might be thinking the same things. So let's jump straight in with an example, and I'll show you what I mean. In this game of 501, we both have 83 points, and it's your turn to throw. The standard out chart suggests treble 17 and double 16. Hit the treble 17 with your first dart and you get 2 shots at your double. Seems like a win-win situation. But how often will you hit the treble 17 with your first dart? And what happens if you miss? Unless you throw a really wild dart, you're probably going to hit somewhere in the area enclosed by this yellow circle. The size of your circle might be bigger or smaller depending on your skill level, but inevitably you will miss the treble sometimes, and when you do, you'll hit either single 17, single 3, treble 3, single 2, or a treble 2. If you hit a single 17, you're left with 66. So you might choose to throw single 16, double bull, or treble 10, double 18. If you hit a single 3 with your first dart, you're left with 80. So you could shoot treble 16, double 16, or perhaps, if you're feeling lucky, go for double 20, double 20. You get the idea. Hit a treble 3, a single 2, or a treble 2 with your first dart, and you've still got options with your 2 remaining darts. There are other possible combinations, of course, but these are the more obvious ones, and they serve to illustrate my point, which is, unless you hit the treble 17 with your first dart, you will need to throw all 3 darts, and every solution requires you to hit either a treble, a double bull, or a double double. Let's assume you didn't get to the finish, so now it's my turn to throw. My first dart is thrown at the bullseye. Bear in mind that the combined surface area of the inner bull and the outer bull is 3 times the size of a treble. I expect to hit the bullseye 3 times more often than the treble. If I hit the inner bull, I score 50 and leave myself with 33. So my second dart is aimed at the big fat 317 area. I'm aiming to hit a 17 to leave double 8s, but if I slip into the 3, I've still got a shot at double 15. If my first dart hits a single bull, I'm left with 58, which is a single 18 double 20 shot. In either case, I've replaced the need to hit a treble with the need to hit the bullseye, a target that's 3 times bigger than the treble. If I should miss the bullseye completely, I'm still left with a possible 2 dart out. So if my first dart bounces out, or if it hits any number from 1 to 12, I'll need a treble double combination with my last 2 darts. If my first dart hits any number from 13 to 20, I can finish that with a single double bull combination. When I was first introduced to this concept, I was skeptical. Choosing a first shot that guarantees you'll need to throw all 3 darts seems counterintuitive when there's a possible 2-dart shot to be had. But the more I've thought about it, the more I like it. In either approach, if you hit your target with the first dart, you're in good shape. And if you don't hit it, you've got work to do. But with the bullseye first strategy, the target for your first dart is 3 times bigger, so you stand a much greater chance of success. Here's the chart we looked at earlier, with the finishes filled in. Think of it as a supplement to the standard out chart. If you're fairly comfortable throwing at bulls, then choose this option whenever your score stands on 95 to 91 or 85 to 81. We've delved in depth into one of the numbers in the 80s range, and the principles discussed apply equally to all 5 numbers in that range. The numbers in the 90 range present a harder challenge. Here, unless you hit double bull with your first dart, you'll be on a double bull for your outshot, and that's a considerably harder target than an outer ring double. So the decision as to whether to shoot bull first in the 90 range depends on whether you want to take an easy path to get to a shot at a difficult double, or take a harder path in the hope of landing on an easier outer ring double. The choice is yours. One final note. You can also use the bull first approach on, say, 75 through 71, but it's not as effective in that range because any number in that range can be taken out with 2 fat singles and a double. So throwing bull with your first shot would actually add to the degree of difficulty. That's it for this video. If you are not already familiar with this approach, then I've thrown a lot at you. Think about it, try it for yourself, and figure out what works best for you. Thank you for watching through to the end. Shoot well and have fun.